Hello everyone, I'm Ophélie Gourdou, the project manager of CELAB Europe, a project aiming to create a circular economy for self-adhesive label materials. So I will explain to you a bit more in details what it means, the scope of the project, the vision, the size of the opportunity, and how we organize the work to reach our objectives. So first, let's clarify the scope of the project. Here we are talking about the release liner and the matrix that we consider valuable material that can be recycled or repurposed. The matrix is a skeleton face material removed at the label converters, and the release liner carries the labels and is the remaining part that becomes a waste once the label is applied on the packaging at the brand owner, for example, or at the retailer. So today there are 36 members that are companies and organizations from the whole supply chain of the self-adhesive label, starting from raw material producers. So we have as well the label stock producers, the label converters. The label users are not yet in the project, but we are in contact with them, and the recyclers and collectors of those materials. So a few words about FINAT, which is a European Association of the Label Industry and one of the founding members, and is hosting the consortium. So the vision is to create more circularity by creating a network of solutions to recycle and to collect, and also to provide education so that the material is recyclable and how it can be collected and where and how they can be recycled. So the target is quite bold because we want to reach 75% of the material to be returned to the economy by 2025. But we think that we can achieve this by establishing a representative organization to better understand the need and constraints of all parties and also the legal aspects of it. And so this will develop adapted solutions that are cost-effective solutions and also so economically viable and with the least environmental impact possible. And finally, by utilizing the whole value chain to build scale. So what is the scale of the opportunity? In Europe, we are talking about nearly 500,000 tons of paper liner, which is a big quantity, but relatively small if you compare to the whole amount of paper material on the market. So it represents a little bit less than 1%. So the challenge is that it's not a mainstream material, and we need to collect it separately to be treated separately. The other part of the material in terms of amount is a matrix. So you see here it's around 125,000 tons, and it's split between paper, which is 2/3 of the material type, and the rest is PP and PE. So the biggest focus at the moment is on paper liner because it's the biggest quantity. It has some value. It's really good fiber if we are looking at the paper. And so we think that there's also good recycling solutions that can be really used to return this material to the economy. So since its launch, CELAB has already identified 25 solutions to recycle and collect the used liner and the matrix. So those solutions are listed on the CELAB Europe website that everybody can access. So there is this interactive map where you can find all the details needed to choose the most appropriate partner, depending on your location, on the material type, and there are also some contact details to reach out the solution providers. So here now this is about how CELAB Europe is organized to deliver the work. So you see that there are 6 different work streams, and each of them focus on specific pieces of the puzzle. So you have the data mining, the recycling solutions split between paper liner and film and matrix, the logistics, the legal framework, and the communication. So they are all interconnected. All the information that they provide are needed to develop optimized and adapted solutions. So we'll go a little bit more into details of each work stream to show you the highlight, what they are doing. For the data mining, the scope is to identify where the material is and to measure the progress of the recycling. So to have a good understanding of where the material is per country and per material type, we have this heat mapping that we update every year. And we are tracking the progress by estimating how much of the paper liner is recycled by the recycling partners that are identified by CELAB. And this year we are starting a new survey with the collectors to estimate how much of the paper liner is collected so that we can cross-check the results with the recycling figures. Recycling solutions. So here we are talking about paper liner. So the scope is to identify the recyclers and validate them and to add them on the interactive map. So to make them visible to the brand owners or the retailers who have this type of material. So on the interactive map, here you can see that the solutions are missing in the south of Europe, Italy, Spain, but also in the UK. So we are actively doing trials with recyclers in these countries to validate local solutions. When it is collected separately, the paper liner can be recycled into different applications, like recycled paper, but also insulation material or cushioning material for shipment boxes. So, in order to guide the strategy of CELAB, we have started a life cycle assessment study to compare the impact of those different end-of-life scenarios, and the results are expected in the spring this year. We are also conducting a study to test the paper liner recyclability with the CTP in France to understand if the paper liner can be mixed with the rest of the whole paper stream, as this would simplify its collection. Then we have this other recycling solution workstream on the film and matrix. So we are collaborating with Ubuntu to scout for solution for the matrix waste, focusing on the paper matrix and the mix of material, paper and filmic, because sometimes it's difficult for the label printers to separate those two different type of material. So we already found interesting outlets like biochar or construction material. So this is ongoing and we hope to find more solutions during the year. And then we are continuing the work, to validate solutions for the PET liner. And those includes mechanical but also chemical recycling. Logistics. So this is about the collection of the material and the transport to the recycler. When the quantities are big enough, it's not really an issue because we have already existing programs in place that collects the amount of material when it's like at least 2, 3, 5 tons per year. So the problem is when we have small quantities. And here we are looking at different solutions. For example, what we call reverse logistics, so a printer, a label printer that will collect the material, so the liner, from their customers to create a kind of hub so that the quantity is big enough to send to a recycler. Or we also connect with local players that are able to collect small amounts of different type of waste, including the paper liner. So we are also looking at the potential of digital platforms with a consultancy company to identify how we can optimize the logistics by mapping in a more granular way the material. Legal framework, so it's about monitoring the different regulations and directives relating to the liner and matrix waste at European level, but also at member state level. So we are looking mostly specifically at the PPWR, at the Waste Framework Directive, the Waste Treatment Regulation, and the plastic packaging tax in UK, Italy, and Spain. We have collected all the learning in a reference document that is available to all CELAB members, and a summary is available to all on our website. The communication work stream is really about raising awareness of CELAB and that the material is recyclable and what are the solutions. So we communicate via our website, via LinkedIn, with articles, white papers, videos. And here on the right side, you see an infographics for label users in the form of Q&A to answer most frequently asked questions around the paper liner recycling. And we have initiated a communication at each delivery of labels for the label printers that can, put a sticker flagging that the liner can be recycled with a QR code, leading to the interactive map of solutions. So I hope this presentation was instructive and demonstrated all the effort done to make the self-adhesive label industry more circular. If you are interested to know more or to contribute actively to this effort, you can reach us via email. Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.